So we're going to cut up some asparagus today. You may be thinking, why are we cutting up asparagus? Well, we're supposed to be cutting up a chicken. Well, halfway through the day, I get a text message from my wife. And she says, but the chicken's still frozen. And I said, but sugar honey baby darling, they're going to be really hard to do that way. It's hard to cut up a frozen chicken. She said, don't worry, you can cut up the asparagus while you're waiting. Now there's all sorts of ways to cut up the asparagus. But the cheat is just to make sure it fits in the pan. So I need them about there. I'm going to lop them off like this. This one's a little ugly. Now I know this isn't chicken, and you probably know how to do this already. But it's fun to do. Plus, the bottoms of the asparagus make really great composting. So we're almost through here, and I'll set this aside. Some of these are ugly asparagus. And we'll get our asparagus in here, like so. Put a little olive oil on there that I splashed as I opened it. Rub that around in there. Like that. We'll come back with a little salt. And a little bit of pepper. And we'll get that out of the way. 400 degrees, 15 minutes or so. But that ain't what you came for. So now it's time for the main event. That's the chicken. Now step one is to get every other thing out of the way. Raw chicken's not good for the eating. It's not good for the getting on their hands. It's not good for getting in the little kids' mouths. So the best way to control that is to get everything else out of the way that you don't need to cut the chicken with or put the chicken on. And so here we are. Notice I got the garbage can right here too. I'm going to use that as I go. Now the nice thing about cutting up a chicken like this is that you can make the chicken broth with what you got left. And that's handy. And you don't know how to do that probably. We'll walk through that also. I've already kind of screwed that up. Because the best way to do it is to have your crock pot ready to go. And I don't. I was in such a hurry to make the Vijeo with my frozen chicken. Ugh. So the first thing you gotta do is you gotta open her up. Well, after getting the right lighting and so on and so forth. So especially when she's frozen like this, you gotta kind of work the joints a little bit. There we go. And you can easily feel how this thing works. You don't want to lose this. So we're going to cut the leg off the thigh, with the thigh attached around here, because this little bit of meat is really tasty. But we got to make sure she's loose first. There we go. And you can actually break and dislocate a couple of those with your hands prior to going in, like that and like that. And then the wings, same deal. You don't want to lose that. So you go on and pop that and pop that. This would really hurt if he was still alive. Go on like this. Try and get that joint, just so. See? All dislocated for me. I always use a serrated knife for this. The real knives that the chefs use that are just sharp all the time, they're mythical. So, serrations for the win. And I got a pair of scissors here, just in case something goes awry. Because when you're doing this, you don't want to go back and get a new knife, because your hands are going to be sort of busy. See what I mean here? You got to go around this little nugget as much as you can. So peel that off, like so. Likewise on the other side. There we go. I'll edit this later so that it looks like I know what I'm doing. Now, the breasts are hard because you want to get all the meat you can. You also want to keep the skin on. We're going to be grilling this. So we got to find that bone right in the middle. And we got to cut on either side of it because there's bone in there. But you also want to sort of peel it off of the rib cage and come down here on either side. So you sort of feel that rib cage right in there. Can't go past that because we don't want to cut the ribs in there. So we're going to make a cut. And I don't care what side it goes on. I'm going to sort of let the knife decide what side it wants to go on first. It looks like it's going off to the right, which is totally great. So I'm going to cut the skin with my serrations first, all the way down, because I want to have that skin as protection for the grill. And also because it's really yummy. I cut sort of as deep as I can go before I start hitting stuff. Now this is where the scissors come in handy, because you're going to hit the wishbone up there, which is going to wish it was still bone soon. Yoink. There we go. Well, there's probably a better way to do that, but I don't care. My way works just fine. Now we're going to sort of peel this off of here. Now, depending on what you're doing, you got a choice to make. See, this breast is on here, and then there's the tenderloin. Now I'm going to keep mine together because I'm going to be grilling this, and the tenderloin still stays on there. It just doesn't go on the direct flame for quite as long. But you can take it off if you want to. A little bit of rib bone in there. So sort of peel that off of there. And then, should be good. I'm going to use this scissors here to cut this last bit to skin so I don't have to lose them. Now you got that little bone. You should. Maybe a little lost. There it is. So you do have to extract that. You don't eat it. Bones are not good for the eating. So we're going to pull that out of there. Like that. Breast. Next. Maybe a musical soundtrack would be good. I think something by Metallica would be appropriate for this. Let's see. But that's not what I have in my head right now. What I have in my head right now is bluegrass, which I suppose fits because they raise chickens, typically country boys do, right? And that's what bluegrass came from, so that sort of fits, but I am not ill-prepared to play music for you, and I think we'd all be much happier if I didn't sing it. So I sing about as good as I grow hair. Peel this guy off there. We almost forgot, well, I didn't really forget. You may have forgotten that I left the thighs and the legs together. I don't want to do that on the grill. I want them to be separate. So I'm going to have to go back and fix that error. Now there's a trick. Thigh, leg, bend them together, and you can use your finger and find where the bones meet. Hope you can see that. And you're going to want to put your knife right in there. And if you do it right, cut through, there's no bone. You just cut through the cartilage. If you do it wrong, you end up sawing the bone in half, accidentally, because the bone's real weak there. And if you do that, it's not a big deal, but you end up with, see, I didn't end up with any. You end up with a little shard of bone in here, or a little shard of bone in there, and you kind of don't want that in there if somebody's going to bite down on it. You never know. So, again, find a little hoopty-doop in there. Knife goes in the hoopty-doop and slices down. You can sort of feel your way through it. And there we go. You notice I'm using a pan with a lip. That's important so the juices don't get everywhere. Now, this is going to sound weird, so bear with me. It's the neck and the carcass. We're going to take that later. I'm going to come back and season this, and I'll edit it out so you don't have to watch me washing my hands and such. But we're going to season this. I know you didn't want to know how to cook the chicken. You just want to know how to cut it up, but there's something to barbecue chicken that not a lot of people know. It's a little bit of a secret, so hang on. Hold that thought. Okay, here we are again. I'm gonna plop this down because I don't want to put the spices down where the chicken juice will be. It's gonna start out as really normal, and then it's gonna get surprising. So, salt, pepper, and what is that? It's cocoa powder. Now you may be thinking that that's crazy and I'm just kidding, but I promise you, I'm totally not kidding. So, ooh, that's pretty hard. There we go. Finer pepper than that. Maria doesn't like too much pepper, so we gotta go easy on the pepper. And then I gotta get a flipping tool. It wasn't me trying to censor myself. I need to get a tool for flipping. Oh, a little bone in there. Take care of that. Flipping. There we go. Salt, pepper. Unless you think I was joking, my clean hands, make sure they're clean. I'm putting cocoa powder on my chicken. This will not taste like chocolate. I promise. It sounds weird, but it tastes good. And it gives you a nice browning barbecue and kind of smokiness to it. So we'll do that. We'll do that again. Now, there's something else here that's a little weird. I'm going to go start the grill after I'm done here. And I'm going to let it sit on the counter. And you may think, that's really weird because raw chicken's not supposed to sit on the counter. And you're going to be all sorts of scary and all sorts of grimy, nasty bacteria bits are going to get in there and kill you. Well, in this case, it's actually the opposite. Because right now, this was in my fridge, and it was actually partially frozen a little bit. But it's in my fridge, so it's roughly 40 degrees, probably more like 35, before I took it out. Fahrenheit, of course. So then, it's going to warm up. It's 60-something in here, 65-ish maybe. So I want it to be as warm as it can be before it goes to the grill, so that the insides get cooked. Otherwise, if you brought this out, let's say it was frozen and you cooked it, the insides would take a long time, the outsides would get burned. It's not a steak. We do not need burned on the outside, red on the inside. And this is the chicken. We want it cooked all the way through. So, we're gonna let this sit for like a half an hour while the grill heats up. And I'm not gonna make you watch for that.